Hello, hello. Good afternoon. All right. So let me just go over some housekeeping items. I want to make sure that we are live because the worst thing is if you are talking and you think you're streaming and then there's nobody there. So let me just make sure that everybody is in the right places. Yes, we are. All right, we are live. All right, welcome everybody. Please, if you are tuning in from Facebook, we are using StreamYard. So what happens in StreamYard is it doesn't capture your first and last name unless you give it permission. So if you are tuning in from our Facebook group page, go ahead and give StreamYard permission to capture your first and last name because this is an interactive webinar. And so if you have any questions, I would love to know who you are and where you're from and all of that. So please put them in the comments. Hi, Leanne. Welcome, welcome. And anybody who's tuning in now, please let me know where you're from, what you do, introduce yourself, because again, even though it is a webinar, I want you all to be connecting and finding out about each other and probably hopping on a Zoom call if you feel comfortable to network. So this is what it is. Introduce yourself in the comments below. And if you want, drop your social media handles and follow the person above you and below you because we're all about connecting and networking. So that's a great thing to do. So drop in the comments who you are, what you do, where you're from, and then start connecting in the comments. All right, so let's get started. And let me know at any time if the sound goes out. I can't hear anything. I just have the mic on. It doesn't tell me if sound is on or off. So anything that you tell me will be amazing. All right, so today we are going to talk about a introverted business owner's way of networking. And this is very interesting because not a lot of people know this, but I'm actually an introverted business owner and I own a nationwide networking organization. But yes, I am an introvert. But if you are introverted, it doesn't mean that you can't network. Networking is not for you. You just have to do it in a way that feels good to you. So let's get started. If we have not connected yet, my name is Grace Yniguez. And yes, my last name is very unique. So I always put in the phonics. It's Yniguez. And I, you know, adopted that last name through marriage through my husband. So my last name is Yniguez. I'm a networking strategist and a community builder. I'm also a speaker and also a entrepreneur. So one of the companies that everybody all knows me for is Social Register Network. I am the owner and CEO. I actually used to be the COO for almost 12 years, and then I bought the business right before the pandemic, and we expanded nationally. So we have a lot of great things going on within the Social Register Network. And then if we haven't connected through Social Register Network, you probably know me through Power Tribe Women, which is a women community that I launched with my business bestie. And we host it out here in Las Vegas every other month. And it's really to ignite the connection collaboration so women can make more money and feel more confident. So those are the two organizations you may know me for, aside from my one-on-one coaching and just being out and about and being that woman who's just a connector. There's a photo of my family. My husband and I were high school sweethearts. We've been together since I was 16. And yes, we were teen parents. So the gentleman who's in the white is my son. He's 19 years old. And the beautiful girl on the right of him is his girlfriend, Julianne. So Jarian and Julianne. Very interesting. I'll tell you the story, about their names. It's funny. I'll tell it another day. And then the two little Yarkies, those are my two little babies. Lexi is the one my husband is holding, and then Bella is the feisty one, and she's the one Julianne is holding. All right, so that's a little bit about me because I think it's important you know who is this person that's teaching you and why you should be listening to me. Like, why am I the expert on this topic, right? But without further ado, let's get started. All right, so today we're going to go over the agenda. I always like having an agenda, an outline to keep me, of course, organized and make sure that I follow my outline because I tend to go on a tangent. So we're going to talk about being an introvert in networking. We're, of course, going to talk about why networking is important and what are the benefits of networking. I'm also going to go over the 3 steps to showing up and also some rules that I follow as a introvert. All right. Yeah, keep those comments coming in and I will definitely read them. This is an interactive webinar, so feel free if you have questions, put them in the comments. Hi, Leanne. She is from upstate New York. Read that comment and connect with her. So let's start off really like what is the definition of an introvert, because I feel like sometimes people confuse it with being a more of a shy person versus being an introvert. So I knew I was an introvert because of the way my energy was being, like, I felt like the energy was being drained or extracted from me, and then the way I needed to like retreat and reset was in a manner of an introvert. um when I was younger, my mom used to say that I was very, very shy. And I think it was probably a mix of being shy and an introvert, because I wasn't the first person out there, like out with the kids saying hello and introducing myself. I always stood by her. So I want to go over like what the definition is that I found obviously on Google of what an introvert is. And so they do, use the word shy. They say it's a shy, reticent person. An introvert is a person with qualities of a personality type known as introversion, of course, which means that they feel more comfortable focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas rather than what's happening externally. They enjoy spending time with just one or two people rather than a large group or crowd. So, this is when I knew I was an introvert, because I truly, truly love meaningful connections. I love the one-on-one connection. The only part about the groups, like, I'm fine in a larger group as well, as long as we're talking about things that are meaningful and we're including everybody. So that's how I knew I was an introvert. So if obviously if you're tuning in, you believe that you're an introvert, that's why you're tuning in. But let me know in the comments below why you think you're an introvert. Let me know in the comments below, because I would love to hear why you think you're an introvert, because I think it's different for everybody. So let's talk about like why is networking important first before we get into, networking as an introvert. So the first key element that everybody knows is that networking is great for exposure, for visibility. It's the key to the networking where people will get to know who you are, what you do, and it's a way of getting yourself out there, right? So exposure is the top thing that everybody knows. Exposure and visibility. The second thing that now I see, nowadays I'm seeing a lot of people are talking about it, is collaboration. When you are business networking, it gives people insight to you and the ability to collaborate with other businesses, because again, even though that there's somebody else who's doing a networking event just like me, we are two different people. Maybe this person's only doing an event for women, or maybe they're doing it for Hispanics, or maybe they're doing for Asian, whatever it is. I know that my organization is diverse, it's for everybody. So there can be some ways that we can collaborate. So networking, when you're meeting other business professionals in different industries or even in your same industry, there are always collaboration opportunities. For example, you can share each other's posts on Instagram. You can do a Instagram live and interview each other on each other's platforms. There's so many different ways. You can teach in their community and do a webinar for them, or they can do a webinar for your community. There's so many ways to collaborate, but those are just a few. Now, the third thing of networking, why it's super important for you and your business, is the opportunities. There are so many opportunities that it opens up for you and your business. For example, podcast interviews, a special connection that maybe you thought that you would never get connected to, that people know other people. And when you're connecting with others, you just never know who they'll know. And the last piece is a story that I want to share, is opportunities. I talked about speaking, but opportunities to speak to other groups, or opportunities to be part of workshops or seminars for other organizations, businesses, and any events that they're doing. So I have a networking organization that's nationwide. One of the special stories I like to share is one of my members lives in Florida and one of my members lives in Vegas. He owns a group out here, and she is a leadership coach. And they met through our networking, obviously our networking event that we do virtually, and they built a connection. Well, she now does webinars for him. Without networking and attending that event, they would have never connected and met each other, and she wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to speak to a group in Las Vegas, and the people who attended that webinar wouldn't be able to meet her otherwise. I mean, maybe there would have been a different opportunity, but it's not very likely, right? Because how many of us are traveling to Florida and how many freaking people are in Florida, right? We don't know if we'll be able to meet her um immediate. So networking expands your opportunity to be able to connect with so many people, and especially when you're a part of an organization that is nationwide, you'll be able to connect with people outside of your community. So remember the three key things why it's important to network is the exposure and visibility, the collaboration, and also the endless opportunities. So when we talk about networking, yes, those are the three things that are important about networking. But I want you to remember that networking takes time. Networking is really built on the trust, the connection, and the authenticity that you're building among your peers and the people you're networking. So I want you to remember that people want to get to know who you are. That's one of the huge pieces because that's the way you're going to be able to network authentically and genuinely. And also, the most effective networking is being you because you're attracting the right connections. So if you're a person who loves to laugh and you're just outgoing and you enjoy having fun, if you put that out there and you allow people to get a piece of who you are, guess what? You're going to attract those people who love that energy. And usually like attracts like, and those are the people you're going to want to include in your circle and in your network. Those are the people you want to hang out with. So it takes time to network, but the first thing you need to do is you need to be yourself. And the second thing right here is you need to give more than you receive. And the fourth thing is you need to go in without a agenda. So one thing that I've seen multiple times at networking events is people go to networking events and then they have these business cards, right? And then they just start passing it out without getting to know the other person, without finding out how they can support them, and finding out maybe there's some way to collaborate or maybe there's opportunities that you can share with this person. So I want you to get rid of that. If you are still doing that, if you're still going to events and just passing out business cards and telling them what you do and who you are, I want to challenge you. I would love to say I want you to stop doing that, but I want to challenge you to stop doing that because I want you to try getting to know other people in that room, finding out who they are, what they do, what are their values, what are they working on that maybe you can support them in. Because that right there is truly building a relationship and finding out how you can support others. And if you are an introvert, I know I'm speaking right to your soul because I know this feels good to you. Like this kind of networking where you're finding out how you can support others because as an introvert, you're a person who loves to give. You're a person who loves to just have that meaningful connection. So if you go to events and you stop passing out business cards, you stop telling people like making it all about you and going in with an agenda that you're going to make all these sales and all this stuff, and you go there with truly trying to support others, you are going to feel so good about networking, and it's no longer going to feel like a chore, right? It's not going to feel like something that you don't want to do. All right, and let me look at the comments. So Leanne says she gains energy from being alone instead of being with people. That's why I consider myself an introvert. Absolutely, 100%. I agree. I am the same way. Jamie says, I do not enjoy large groups and value smaller one on one connections. Yes, amen. That's me. I would much rather relax at home in a more peaceful energy. Yes, girl. I tell people, like, if everything was in hands reach, like I didn't have to leave the house, I'll stay at home. But I do have to admit that I do crave that, like, people connection, like being in front of somebody. And when I officially do it, especially at our events, I feel so good too. It's just I need to know how to retreat right after. So we're gonna go over that. Hello, Stephen from Elisa Viejo. Welcome. And Teddy says she loves meaningful connections. Yes, that is one of the key things to networking is once you get that down, once everybody in this world gets that down, that it's about creating that meaningful connection and finding out how you can support each other, how you can collaborate, and truly knowing why the other person is in business instead of just knowing, oh, yeah, they're insurance. Well, why? Why did they choose to be in insurance? That why and that impact is so much more meaningful. And then when you meet someone who needs insurance, guess who you're going to remember? You're going to remember that someone who gave you a meaningful reason, that impact. You remember those stories, those relatable stories, right? So once everybody figures out that meaningful connections is the way to go, trust me, everybody will be networking the right way and it'll feel good for everybody. All right. I just wanted to go through the comments and make sure that I was, addressing all the questions and any comments. All right. So let's go to the next page. So I talked about why networking is important. I talked about, how it takes time and how you need to show up and network in a way that's going to feel good to you, whether you're introvert or not. But now I want to get into the introvert part. This is the part that is my favorite because these are things that I went through for the past 12 years and how I'm able to show up in a way that feels good to me and actually own a networking organization where I'm networking almost every day, but I don't feel like it's taking up all my energy. It feels good, right? So let's start off with the obvious. This is one of the things that I like drill on social media is as introverts, sometimes we retreat, we retract, we stay in our lane. And sometimes that can hurt us because every single person who's on this webinar is amazing at what you do. There is a reason why you went into your business, but you don't shout it out to the world. I know you don't because I'm an introvert and I'm the same way. And that's one thing that I had to work on for a couple of months. And it was like, Mary Grace, you need to let people know how good you are and let them know that you can help them. Like you have that secret sauce. You have that secret sauce and you want to stop being that best kept secret because at the end of the day, if no one knows how good you are, what you do, what kind of services you provide, and what kind of good person you are that you provide this service or product, guess what? You don't have a business because then you don't have clients and then you don't have a network. No one knows who you are or what you do. And sometimes the negative to it is if you just keep trucking along and doing what you're doing, if people find like your peers or anyone who's in business that finds out, oh, you do that? I didn't even know you did that. Like, why all of a sudden you do that? Like, did you just shift businesses? It causes confusion. So, I wanted to address this first because I know as an introvert, it's something that we do all the time. We try to we like keep ourselves small because we want to remain humble. And sometimes it takes up a lot of energy to like to show up and let people know that you're a freaking boss and you know what you're doing. So today I want to let you know to stop being the best kept secret. I want you to stop being the best kept secret and I want you to shine on because you are in business to make an impact. You're not in business just to have a little hobby that makes some money. You want to change lives. You want to provide this service and product because you know it's going to help people, right? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if that's you. Like give me a emoji with the hands up like, "Yes." Let me know because I know as an introvert that's how I feel and I know a lot of people who are a part of my one-on-one coaching is exactly how they feel. So I want you to stop doing that. And I want you to stop being the best kept secret. You're doing a disservice to not only yourself, but to other people because now you can't impact lives. You can't help other people if you're not letting them know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And I'm Asian. So that part comes into my like history and trauma, or not trauma, but like a limiting belief that like, oh, I don't want to like let people know because then I'm like gloating I'm doing this. But no, it isn't. You're doing a disservice by not letting people know that you're a badass and that you are good at what you do and you can help people. You can truly help them because you are all about impact. As an introvert, I know every single one of you are all about impact and changing lives. So keep this, take a screenshot, take a photo, stop being the best kept secret, keep it on your phone and tag me, post it on Instagram because this is going to be your motto for the rest of the year. I want you to stop being the best kept secret and shine on. So let's get into the 3 steps to showing up as an introvert. Okay. So let's get into some action items. Okay. What happened? Okay, so these are three things you need to stop doing to ensure people know you are here, what product you have, and what service you provide. So, aside from the part where you're going to stop hiding, you're going to stop being that best kept secret, these are some things that I want you to stop doing. So, a lot of us, we like to wait till things are perfect. We're like, we're going to launch that program, but there's so much things I got to work on. Let me just make sure that it works. Let me make sure that this is in line, this is ready, my website's ready, whatever, whatever. Guess what? I want you to stop waiting for the perfect time because there's never, ever going to be a perfect time, especially when you're wanting to launch a program, a product, a service. You need to get out there. You need to get out there and you need to start networking. You need to let people know who you are and what is that product or service that you're going to launch. You need to start talking about it because no one else is going to do that for you. You are your main advocate. You are that person. You are the marketing person. You are the CEO. You are everything. Even though you have a team, it's all on you. So you got to let people know who you are and you need to shine on. Next thing is, as an introvert, I know for me, and I'm sure if you agree, let me know in the comments that sometimes we retreat because we're afraid of what people will say. We don't want people to think that we're gloating. We care. We're very caring, kind people, and it's because we're all about that meaningful connection and relationship. So it's not that I want you to just like not care and drop everybody, but I want you to understand that the more that you care about what other people think and what they're going to say about your business or what they're going to say about you on social media because you showed up dancing or whatever you did on social media, um, that creates a wall for you. It creates a wall for you. It creates a barrier for you. And that cannot be your reason. That cannot be your reason that nobody knows about you and your business. That cannot be your reason because that's a wall that you built up. You built that. So it's not that I want you to stop caring, but I want you to what I tell my clients a lot is I want you to have tunnel vision. That's one of the things I tell you not to have, right? Like don't have tunnel vision. But I want you to put blinders on. Put blinders on and focus on your journey. Focus on your business, focus on your clients, focus on the people that you're impacting. Put on those blinders. Don't mind what everyone's doing because guess what? The way you're doing it is going to attract the same kind of energy. Like I just said, your vibe attracts your tribe. So, whatever you put out there, don't worry about it. I know I used to be that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I put that video out and all I'm doing is laughing and da, da, da. But guess what? As soon as I posted that video, I attracted all the same people who love to laugh, who are silly, who are teen moms as well. I attract the same kind of energy. So I don't want you to stop caring, but I want you to put those blinders on and I want you to focus wholeheartedly on yourself, your business, your clients, and also those people that you want to serve. That's going to help you tremendously show up 100% as you, show up on social media, and also it'll help you when you're networking so that you're building a genuine connection. You're not trying to be something you're not. You are building an authentic connection where you're sharing with them who you are, what you do, and how you can support them. So that's the second bullet. And actually, I just mentioned the third one, show up as you. So people say that, back in, I remember like 10 years ago, a lot of people used to say, like, keep business and personal separate. Even if you work like a corporate job, right? Like they used to say, leave your work at work. And then when you get home, it's home. But when you are a business owner, especially now, especially in this day and age, people want to know who you are. That's where your personal brand comes in. So if you need help with personal branding, you let me know because I have a ton of people that I can refer you to. But that's where your personal brand is going to come in. You need to put you in front of your business. The old saying 10 years ago of like putting your business card in front of your business, throw that business card away. Like I don't even have business cards. I say ditch the business card and ditch the pitch because I show up as me. So I want you at the next event that you attend, whether it's virtual or in person, I want you to show up 100% as you. So for example, let's say Steven, if you go to an event, I want you to introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Steven Madaus. I hope I said that correctly. Steven Madaus. What do you do? How can I support you? How did you hear about this event? Keep it casual. Build a relationship. Don't put your business in front of you, who you are, because you are your business. You are the person that they want to get to know. right? And I know that I get that question a lot about like, well, what's personal and what's being professional? It's really up to you. You don't have to share what you don't want to share, but who you are to the core, that you're a silly person, that you love to laugh, that you love to golf, you love to play basketball, you love to be with your family. Those are things to you to the core. Like those are things you love to do, that you love to watch movies. Share that. That's what people want to know, because that's where you're going to find that relatability. And I know as an introvert, that feels good. That feels better, right? Like, let me know in the comments. Does that feel better than you just going to events and just being like, hi, my name is Mary Grace. I own a social register network. I own a networking organ. I can't even say it because I don't do that. I own a networking organization. What do you do? Like, it feels to me, I can't even say it because it feels so stale and dry. It just feels like, oh, I'm here for another, like, I feel like it's a numbers game for me when I do that. I feel like I'm just ticking check boxes, and I'm like, oh, I met with him. Okay, well, I'm done. It doesn't feel good. So as an introvert and someone who wants to create meaningful connections, go out there and build those meaningful connections. Introduce yourself. Find out if you're not comfortable yet with just like releasing who you are, find out how you can support the other person. Because right there, you're building a meaningful connection. And I will tell you, I challenge you, do it at the next virtual event or your in-person event. The person, when you ask them that, they're taken back. They're like, what? Oh, never, no one's ever asked me that, because no one ever does that. But guess what? You being that person who values meaningful connection, you are going to leave a statement into that other person, and you are going to make an impact, and you are going to be memorable. Maybe you won't find a connection there, but guess what? Maybe that person, when they go network with the next person, they're going to try it too. So the goal is to do networking in a way that feels good to you. There is no right or wrong way. Per se. The wrong way, I believe, is like going to networking events and passing out your business card and not truly getting to know other people. I believe that's the wrong way. But I guess it works for some other people because, I mean, people continue doing it, right? But if you want to build a true quality network where as an introvert, it's not draining to your energy, and you're building a circle and you're building a quality network where you can send resources to, or you become a resource to them, I challenge you to try it this way. So those are the 3 steps to showing up as an introvert. I know it seems so simple, but I went through this and I know it's not easy. It's going to be something that you're going to have to work on. Try it at every event that you go to and do it in baby steps. So if you have it's challenging for you to show up on social media and like post or get on video, do it little by little. Maybe do a story so that it's pre-recorded and then you get to post it. You have control of what's going out there instead of doing a live. So take it baby steps. But these are the 3 things that'll help you show up today. Because if you don't show up, no one's going to know who you are or what you do. All right. So I did touch on this a little bit, but as an introvert, these are some ways that you can network that's going to feel good to you. So the first thing is be part of a community. So be part of a networking group, organization, or community where they are focused on community. They are focused on bringing people together, and everybody is included. Everybody is invited to the table. Everybody who has their own table, they're invited to bring their table and bring it into the same room. Because as an introvert, that's what we value. That feels good to us. So find a networking organization, a group, or a community, whatever you want to call it, where they're focused on community. Not community as in like giving back to your community. I mean, that's great as well. But you want to read their benefits and find out like what are their core values. Is community part of their core values? Is it a part of their mission? Is it part of their impact? Because that's the kind of group you're going to want to be part of if you're an introvert. You want meaningful connections. You want to be able to connect with people who feel the same way and value community. The second thing is attend events with a purpose, an agenda, and structure. So this is different from going to an event with an agenda, like an end goal. What I mean by this is go to an event where maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's a mastermind. There is a structure, there's a purpose. So if you're not comfortable going to like a mixer just yet, now you're going to work your way up to go to that, because you'll choose organizations where community is the focus, and whether you go to a mixer or not, it still feels good to you. But if you're not ready for that, attend an event where it's structured. So a mastermind, maybe they're focused on one key thing. Attend a workshop where maybe you're learning, all of your peers are learning about the same thing. Or give back to the community, do some community outreach, attend an event where you're giving back to your local community, a charity. You're doing things together, you're working together, because that provides a purpose, it provides an agenda, and it provides a structure. And as an introvert, we enjoy that because now there's a purpose. It's meaningful why I'm going to this event. So if you can't find a community in your city, or you're just not ready for that, find an event where there's a purpose, an agenda, and a structure where you are all collaborating together for this main focus. The third thing is, after you have attended an event, is you have to reach out. You have to reach out one-on-one. So don't invite people to maybe like a cocktail evening and there's 20 other people after you met them at a big event. Reach out one-on-one. Maybe book a Zoom call. Start with that. Book a Zoom call, 15 minutes, get to know them, how you can support them, and there you can truly build that connection. If you're ready, then maybe you can do a coffee date one-on-one, because I know as introverts, we don't have a problem. I joke around that I want to leave my house, but we don't have a problem with leaving the house. It's the one thing that we value is that it's one-on-one. It's meaningful. It's not a meeting that just like we're just meeting for nothing. There has to be a purpose and there has to be a meaningful connection within this meeting, right? So reach out, and you have to because you're an introvert and because you like to network a certain way, you have to take the step forward and you have to invite them individually, because the last thing you want is someone to invite you and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually hosting a little dinner for like 10 people, wanted to invite you." Like, if you're comfortable with that, sure. But if you're not, so I'm not, I wouldn't be comfortable because I don't know them just yet. Like, I would have to personally like connect with each one first, then go to this dinner. So to alleviate that like challenge of saying no, I reach out first and I book a 15-minute call and then I get to know them. When you get on that connection call or that connection meeting, make sure that you're finding out how you can support them. Always have first in line giving. How can you support them? Sometimes it's not a tangible item. It's sometimes people are going through something on social media. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I posted this thing and it da, 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 da." Sometimes people just need that headspace or that other business owner who gets it, who's on that journey and wants to talk. As an introvert, I know we're great listeners and we want that meaningful connection. So our conversations always lead in that way. So support and give first. And then again, I say it again, show up as you. 100%. And I think I say that a trillion times because I see it all over the place where people are trying to be something they're not, or they're trying to be professional, but really, we just really want to connect with who you are. Like who you are at home, who you are when you're with your friends. Like that's where you're going to truly build that authentic relationship. Let me know if you have any questions about networking your way as an introvert. Okay, let me look at the comments. I pronounced your last name correctly. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Jamie says, I appreciate the advice. Going to networking events feels so inauthentic and meaningless. Oh, girl, I understand 100%. And that's why you have to do your due diligence and check out the event, check out the organization or whoever the host is, and see if they fit the way you network. So if the person who's leading the event is maybe not your style, it doesn't align with how you network, it might not fit the kind of networking events that you like to go to. And that's probably why it feels inauthentic and it feels meaningless. But if you choose the events where the host or the organization, you see that, oh, wow, it speaks my language, like, heck yes. Those are the ones that you're going to want to gravitate to. You may want to also try like virtual networking. I know sometimes those are tricky too, but if you try virtual networking, at least it's virtual. Like you could try it and then you're done, right? It's easier than going in person. All right. It feels fake. Yep. I agree. That's why I'm like, no, I'm just going to be myself and I'm just going to network 100% as myself. Some are just really aggressive, which is a huge turnoff. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's because, excuse me, I'm just gonna wipe my nose. Um, Sometimes people don't know better. I think we were used to the way we were networking, pre-pandemic and before then, that we just think that, oh, well, I'll just carry it on because it worked before. And I think what's great is people are realizing that doesn't work anymore, that it's really about that authentic and genuine connection, even on social media. So people used to think that we just post on social media and they'll get clients, they'll build their network that way. But actually, you have to reach out and get on a phone call, get on a Zoom, and get to know the people who are following you or get to know the people you are following. That's how you're going to build that relationship. So even on social media, it's the same thing. All right. So this is important as an introvert. This is actually one of the things I learned in the last year. One of the things I noticed is because I host networking events every month and then I attend other events as well, I felt like I was always getting sick. Like either I had a headache, I wasn't feeling good, my energy was drained, and it's because you have to fill your cup. As an introvert, we have to reset and regenerate. That can mean so many different things for anybody. So for me, after a big event, especially with a lot of people, the next day I have no meetings. I book no meetings because Mary Grace needs to decompress. She needs to do whatever. I need to journal. I need to have coffee in just a quiet mode. And sometimes I'll take a bath if it's like really heavy. It's really, really heavy. If it was a long day of networking and it was a huge event, I will take a bath. So you have to really listen to your body and listen to your mental state, because if it's too much, stop pushing, because if you go to another event, you're not going to build some real connections there anyways, because you're so overloaded from the past events that you were attending the days before. So acknowledge it. I want you to acknowledge the way your mental, refreshes, resets, regenerates, whatever you want to say, the way your body feels, and you want to acknowledge it. So I know there are tons of events going on, and then like we get bombarded of being invited to so many, and even for me sometimes it's hard to say no, but I've learned to listen to my body and listen to my mental state and say, okay, I did 2 already this week. And sometimes that's a lot. 2 is a lot. And I'm like, okay, well, I could only do that. And then I could do more next week. So acknowledge that and fill your cup. So when I say fill your cup, what helps you reset and regenerate? Is it reading a book? Is it getting a massage? Is it as simple as taking a walk? Is it watching a movie alone? Is it taking a bath? Whatever that is. Is it playing golf? Whatever. Fill your cup. Make sure that you're scheduling that, and when you feel that heaviness and you are drained, take some time and fill your cup. And the third thing is be okay with it. Be okay with it 100%. I know for me, like, because not everyone's an introvert that I hang out with, and they're on the go, on the go, on the go. And for me, I felt like, oh, I wasn't doing enough as a business owner. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should be doing that. Like, they are out every day networking, they are busting out webinars and workshops and all this stuff. I should be doing that. And what I learned as an introvert, it was like, no, no, it's okay. And be okay with it, because my health, my sanity, and my energy is so much more worth it than the other end, right? Like of what how I would feel after going to all those events that week. So the third one is one of the things I had to wrap my head around, is just be okay with it. Let me know in the comments, like, what are some ways that you fill your cup? What are some ways that you reset and regenerate? And do you have to reset and regenerate? Like, I've heard from all introverts, like, we all have to, but maybe I would love to learn, like, is there some ways where you're like, no, I actually don't need to. I just need to make sure I space my events apart. Like, let me know in the comments. And if you're catching the replay, please comment as well, because we are monitoring the comments. All right. Let me know if you have questions about the reset and regenerate, or if you have you need some ideas of how to reset and regenerate. I got a slew of those. All right. Well, that's all. Do you have any questions right now? This is the Q&A section. Let me know in the comments. We are looking at the comments. All right, here's Leanne. Leanne says, meditation and journaling for sure, and baths. I need it for grounding and centering. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I have to admit, when I was introduced to meditation and journaling when I was younger. I was like in my 20s, and I remember just being naive and thinking, "Oh, no, I don't need to do that. Like I don't need to do that." And I would push it off so much. But now I do it every day, and I feel like it releases a lot of the stuff I have in my head. And then I don't feel as overwhelmed. So I love that meditation and journaling. Jennifer, time completely alone, no kids, no outside noise other than music. Yes, yes, I love that. Um, it's so funny. My husband used to tease me. He was just being a little, just teasing me as he always does. And I used to tell him that when I was a teenager, I loved being in my room. Like, because so for him, he loved being in the open space, like in the living room and watching TV. And I'm like, no, I love being in my room. I loved, like, I would sit there and practice my handwriting. I would practice my handwriting. I would write letters. I didn't even have a TV in my room. So he thought I was a weirdo. He's like, "You didn't have a TV." I'm like, "Yeah, but I would do other things. I would read, I would write, I would practice my handwriting, I would write notes, I would be on the phone, I would be on my computer." So I love that. So that reminds me of me, like completely alone. And actually, in my home, in my office, sometimes I'll go back here and retreat and close the door. And sometimes the only person who's with me is Lexi, my little Yorkie. So I definitely relate with that, Jen. Steven, Jim. Oh, Jim, that's a great one. I mean, that's not me, but yes, I can understand why Jim is a therapy. Yes, I love that. Teddy, physical exercise. Yes, I love that. And Leanne says, I love not being spoken to as well. I love it. I did that too. You wrote your name so many different ways to figure out. Yes, I was the same way. I would close the door and I'd just be like there writing. Oh, I would practice my signature. It's like, oh, this is gonna be my signature when I grow up. So yeah, I thought it was just a me thing, but I guess great. I'm glad to know that other people did that. Do you all have any questions? Like any questions in regards to networking, finding the right events to network in? Let me know in the comments and we'll stick around for a little bit for some Q&A. Let me also check some our other platforms where we're streaming to see if we have any questions coming in through there. Where are we? Okay, no questions. Wow. That means I did I do a good job? Oh, I like this one. Narda. Cleaning is definitely a reset for me. Amen. I relate to that. I relate to that. So I love like doing the laundry, vacuuming. Like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Let me clean the house. All right, Teddy. What type of events do you recommend? So, as an introvert, I would highly recommend that you try some virtual speed networking. So, we offer virtual speed networking that we do one on one. And if anything, the most we do in one room is 3 people. So I know a lot of people do groups. We don't do that. We do one-on-one so you can physically connect and create that meaningful connection within 7 to 10 minutes. So try out something like that. So it's virtual. You're dipping your toe in the water, seeing how you connect with people. What are some great questions you can ask people? But also, if you're ready to go out and network in person, you can try a mixer. Just again, going back to the organization, the group, do your due diligence. Check out those groups and make sure that they're curated for a purpose and creating a community, because as an introvert, that's what we love. That's the type of events we thrive on. So try out a virtual speed networking event. You can check out ours. Just go to our website. It's socialregister.com/events. We have one every 2 weeks. You can try that out. And it's all business owners. And it's one-on-one. So we do that virtual. You can try that out. The mixers, again, that gets a little tricky. You just have to do your due diligence or find a workshop or a masterclass. So then it's a smaller group and it's curated. It's for a purpose, it's for agenda. There's an agenda and there's a structure. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any other questions. Where are the best platforms to research events? So I actually go on Facebook and go through the events section, but also you can go on Google and find the best organizations in your community. where I like to start, so I'm a woman, so I'll start to find like women events. If you're a man, of course, so you can go and find men events. They have like golfing events, cigar events. Find the ones that are curated in that way to start off. If you don't want to try a virtual speed networking, but yeah, definitely Google, Facebook, and also, again, you can check us out, socialregister.com/events. And we have several events in person, online, workshops, webinars. We have all of that. Leanne, an amazing job. Thank you. Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. You did great. Thank you for hosting this. All right, Steven, do you have events in OC? Heck yes, we do. So we just launched our Orange County community last Wednesday. We had an in-person event over at the Cliffs restaurant at the Laguna Beach in Laguna Beach. So we are coming out every single month and hosting our in-person events out there. And then as we grow our community, we will have our workshops out there as well. So you can definitely attend our events in Orange County in person. But also, when you're a member of the organization, you get access to all of our events nationwide, virtually, and in person. And you can also become a speaker at any of our events. So, yes, great question. Yes, we do have events in Orange County. Our next one is on June 23rd at Sueños in Laguna Beach. And then we have all our events booked out for the rest of the year. And so you can check out our calendar. We have our venues and everything set up. All right. Well, Teddy, thank you. Thank you. Great information and meaningful. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Well, if that's all the questions you guys have, I do want to share that I do offer a masterclass. So I offer a 4-week masterclass that's going to help you show up and network like a boss. We go through everything. We go through your social media and ensuring that you're showing up 100% as you and you're networking in a way to build a quality network. So take a screenshot of this, take a photo. It's a 4-week masterclass. We start next Tuesday. It's $698. It actually is 4 weeks, and it includes a virtual membership. So it includes our Social Register Networks membership. So take a photo of that. If you want more information, my email's there. That's my website. And my social media is just my name. It's Mary Grace Yniguez. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. In regards to the masterclass, there's also a link in the comments where you can read more about the masterclass. So it's an option. You don't have to do it. Obviously, if you are part of the masterclass, you are able to build a circle and a network with the business owners who are in that masterclass. It's curated just for you. It's 4 weeks of challenges to ensure that you show up. And then also, you take action on items that I give you every week to help you build a quality network. You also get an inner circle mastermind. You get access to our private community, and you also get an exclusive interview on Instagram to make sure that we get you the visibility and the exposure that your business deserves. So with the masterclass, again, it's $698. We do have a payment option. Click on that link in the comments. It'll tell you all about it. It'll give you access to our Social Register Networks virtual membership access only, which is value of $295. It's included in the masterclass for 1 year. And we start on May 17th at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then we meet virtually every week for the next 4 weeks. So it's truly going to help you build a quality network, make sure that you're showing up online and in person as you are 100%, and making sure that you're not the best kept secret. But other than the masterclass, I am offering a 15-minute connection call with me. So I would love, love, love to connect. I would love to get to know who you are, what you do, how I can support you. If there's any resources I can provide, please connect with me. Val in our office, who is amazing in helping me with the webinar, she put the link in the comments. So you can either check out the masterclass or you could book a 15-minute call with me. I would love to connect with you. No obligations, no nothing. It's just like truly want to connect and find out who you are, what you do, and how I can support you, especially if we have a event in your city. Let's definitely connect because we have some resources for you to help you build, grow, and scale your business. All right. Well, without further ado, if you don't have any other questions, grab those links, click on them, book your call with me. If you have questions about the masterclass, check out that website. My information's on there, and I can definitely answer any questions you may have. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me. If you have more questions about introverting, being an introvert and networking, let me know because I live that 100%. 100%. I live that every day. Let me know. Jen says the link is to an interview. Yeah, just go ahead and use that. It'll actually no. Let me give a different link. Let me do that right now. Sorry about that. Let me get the correct link because I think that interview link will only give you days that were available for interviews. Where am I? Let me do this. Let me get that link. And you know what? Here, just do this. Let me put my email in the comments and just email me. And then we will book you a call with me because for whatever reason, my Calendly is gone. And now you guys are gone. Where in the world did you guys go? Oh, okay, technology. Okay, here, email me. Here's my email. I'm putting it in the comments. Email me and then we can book a 15-minute phone call. Yeah, if you're in Vegas, we have events every month out here. I mean, we've been in Vegas for 27 years. We have over 2,500 members nationwide. Virtually and in person, we do events. So check us out. Let me put our website in the comments as well. It's just socialregister.com. All right. Send me an email if you want to book that 15-minute phone call. And also the link for the masterclass is above. And then there's our website to Social Register. Let me know if you have any questions and have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.